the ninja defuses, none of those antics in this game, but certainly some interesting moments. It was complexity up 5-0 to kick things off here on Overpass. All of a sudden, though, NAVI arrived in this best of 3 on their opponent's pick, and they actually do a great job, a significant comeback as they tie things up. We go 6-6. It's anyone's game. It's wide open here, as now complexity switch over to the CT side, and they've got double jeweler leads here. 7 guns on the pistol. Doesn't seem fair. We'll see what they can make of it as Imap tries to do his best Elysian impression towards middle.
A weird first half. Hard to really summarize, but whoever wins this pistol round could be on for a bit of a run. Elige moving forward. This is real dangerous on the other side. Wonderful was ready and waiting for him, but nobody goes down yet. Bomb dropped further back towards T-spawn, so suggesting NAVI not quite made up their minds yet.
Yeah, just want to get some initial control of the map. It all starts here, and they've done very well. It's Bits with a stunning headshot there. Horza can't do anything with the Julies. He's alone in towards that connector, and it's an early 5-on-4. Like he said, the bomb was in T-spawn, but it's been scooped up now. It's on the back of Wonderful. They still have smoke, 2 flashes, and a Molotov. So they can smoke towards Graffiti. They can Molotov the barrels, double flashbang in Anders, but they do have to break past Floppy first. Grim waits behind the pillar, and slowly but surely, here comes that utility.
Oh, swinging wide with the dualies, but he's not hitting many shots at the moment, and he will be traded right away. Bit with the stolen dualies from the connector, hitting a strong headshot, and I think JT back here locked out. They know where he is. They're fighting him, but they don't really have to.
Sure.
Just maybe leave him alone for another 10 seconds, and everything is going to be absolutely fine here.
Yeah.
I think that's what they've called now. They've realized, yeah, it's not worth it.
Bear in mind as well, you can assume it's JT that dropped those Julies, so he's got no Kevlar to speak of as well. Gets himself a couple of frags, at least that's money. You get $300 per kill, of course, and he's got nothing to save. So even running away from the explosion does nothing for him. Might as well see if he can find another frag here, steal one away. Anything will do. He knows it as well, but there's no way to really do anything with this one. Oh, okay, that's another $300, Anders. They're going to force fire the next round. That might be important. Yeah. It might have significant knock-on effect if he can somehow bring out a FAMAS. If they're going to force buy, that is, maybe there's something to be said. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think they necessarily will, but if today's anything to go by, when we saw G2 play NIP earlier on the CT side, they were force buying the second round each and every time. Maybe this will persuade them to give it a go, but it was Bits to open things up, and then the Julies of Floppy could only good for one. Bit recovers those, and there it is, the force buy, JT FAMAS. So those kills are going to have a knock-on effect. If they win this round, it's because he went for that 3rd kill.
Well, they get this tag, heavy tag onto Alexi at the start.
You can see it's the exact money for Kevlar and the FAMAS. Yeah. You needed that third frag to even make this a possibility. So very interesting little nuanced detail there. Good damage to Alexi B. And a difficult round here. I would say it's pretty equal now, considering Alexi B's been tagged. If they can win this round, they're right back into it. 7-7. But back towards B we go for now. 4 players starting to edge their way over. Still got the majority of their smokes. Molotov for the barrels as well. But such a difficult position to flush out these wooden boards.
Yeah, NAVI don't really know what they're walking into. They don't have enough information on the map to realize that it could be a 4-man stack down here. They just don't know. Flash goes right over, and that's a great clear up. The MP7 to start with.
The Alexi B flash, saves the day. Couldn't have been more effective if he tried. And it leads them to a pretty convincing round finish here. It was definitely up in the air at one point when the tag came through, but Alexi B holds his nerve, coordinates the troops. Back into the B side, the contact play of a single flashbang is a thing of beauty. That's Horzak and JT. No choice, I'm afraid. Hold on to the little you have, which is a scout. The aforementioned FAMAS, which didn't really have much impact, I'm afraid. And a smoke to boot as well.
Yeah, this is, I mean, for the second half, NAVI are going to be celebrating this. Like we said, it was an unbelievably slow start for them to overpass, right? They lost the first 5 rounds in a row, got almost no kills whatsoever. I think in the 5th round, they had 5 kills as a team entirely. So not exactly what you'd want to see out of a NAVI team, but yeah, they made up for it now. Started to get in the groove of things. And now they're in the lead, 8-6. So starting to look a little bit more respectable at the moment. Blade towering over them, behind them. I'm sure that he is going to have some harsh words at some point about the beginning here, but right now, focus is on. Alexi's having a good time. All right.
It wasn't a great start. 0-5 down, but smiles all round now. 8-6. You know you're up against potential eco here, but bear in mind they did save a little. Maybe they can do a lot. Up against the SMGs, JL with the T-side MP7. Mac 10 for bit otherwise. As they wait for any initial CT pushes, and one is coming towards short. Elige at least probing the position, peeked out the smoke, didn't see anyone. And it's a bit of a B stack here as well. JT with that famous boosted up and short. Thinks better of it. Silent dismounts, and back towards A they will head. Which seems to be the correct call, but not a certainty that Navi will finish this side of the map. Bear in mind the bomb's still down in T-spawn. But the Scout and the FAMAS, both here on A. If a couple of tags can be found, it could set up these pistols. A bit of a spray down here. Like we said, this boost we saw in the first half always seems good for a couple of kills. Bomb has been recovered, 50 seconds remaining. Now one decent flashbang can disrupt the boost. They know the Scouts on this side of the map. They're hoping a rotation back towards B will come through, but it's Complexity holding on to their strong positions here. Down to Halzak. Needs to find a couple of tags here. Ideally a headshot. First port of call will be wonderful towards long.
Oh, but this is getting very awkward, isn't it? Look at the time. 25 seconds, Henry. I'm starting to get a bit nervous. On behalf of Navi, they could be walking to a real big issue, or simply running out of time here could be the thing, but they clear out the boost. It's a start at least, and Grim is up next. My God, they've cleared it out quickly. I was getting nervous, but still 10 seconds here. The Scout surely going to be knocked out. And look at it. I mean, there was a chance,
God.
even right at the end. He could have landed that shot and won the round.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too excited there, because if Floppy somehow hits that headshot with 4 seconds on the clock there was a chance that bomb doesn't get planted. A slither of hope. Still a scary moment there for Navi, but they managed to course correct and pick up the round. No problem. In the end there, certainly a little bit uncomfortable, but now starting to stretch their legs here. 9-6 on their opponent's pick. I'll say it one more time for the people at the back. Complexity were up 5-0. They picked up a single round since then. Navi with a great start here in the second half. You can see this is a bonus round kind of personified as we see Galil's an MP7, a wonderful AWP. If they win this round, yeah, it's GG if you ask me, but it's Elige for that first frag. Just what they needed.
Oh, there we go. Just as Halzak picks up the second one onto Wonderful. 5-on-3. They absolutely need this one. Like you said, it could be game over for Complexity if they end up losing this one, but they're doing a fine job to begin with. JT unfortunately does get caught, so it isn't maybe quite done yet. Bomb headed or hanging around right outside of the restrooms. Plenty of time for Navi to try and make up their minds, and obviously still could be a secondary goal of just trying to do a little bit more damage to the CT side economy. They have no cash to work with really on the Complexity side. Flashed out. Also unable to get the flick, the kind of flick that I would expect for him to hit. He is a really proficient AWPer.
Oh, absolutely true. 9 kills so far, but on the CT side is where he can do his best work. Alexi B not known to be a sniper. Now already misses out on that first interaction. Floppy certainly doesn't. That should be round guaranteed here. 30 seconds and a 4 versus 2. He does spot another one there, and yeah, really well played from Flop Dogger as managed to tie things up 7-7. Bear in mind though, Anders, this was the bonus round I illustrated before. They had MP7s, 3 Galils, and an AWP. So there will be a buy going forward here. But the Complexity needed to win that round, and they deliver on all fronts. Nice work from Elige, and especially Floppy to close things out there towards a connector. JL's not happy about it. And this is the double spray down to confirm the round in the end. So a timeout from Blade. Second one used for Navi.
He really has such a commanding presence, doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
You can just tell. Great stuff.
He's a no-nonsense man.
Yeah, he really is.
There'll be no hugs. There'll be no fist bumps until the job is done. No massages, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Zero massages.
That's a comfort of life that Blade just doesn't need, you know? Well, this is turning into a weird game now. Still a chance for Complexity to try and make good on the promise that they had in the first 5 rounds. Like, all right, this is it. This is sick. But that's it's kind of disappeared since.
And as we mentioned, economy strong for NAVI, but this will cost them the majority of their gold. Grenades exchange once again, this time towards the playground. No touchdown just yet, but a lot of positional control granted for the CTs here. It's Grim pushing out the way towards shore, checking out the tunnel itself. And you can see they've got nothing in terms of information this side of the map, as they have given up quite a lot of the star here, even anticipating CTs pushing in towards the playground. Molotov for the party position, flashbang to allow a peek. And it's Zimmer, tip of the spear right now. Looking towards long, but he's got a nasty surprise waiting from the other side. It's the Orb of Horzerk.
Yeah, be surprised if he peeks it alone right now. Doesn't seem like that is going to be worth it. They're grouping up outside of the B bomb side, but forward position here at the restrooms for Complexity means there could be a quicker rotation coming down there. Oh, Grim just barely getting away with it. JT on the other side, and now Floppy, they're all chiming in. And look at the timing, Elige to pick off Immer. Once the first thread was pulled here, it just all comes apart for Navi. One at a time, they go down. Not even a chance for, I think, retaliation, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's full control here for Complexity. It was Grim managing to take the water completely at the start of the round. Navi just didn't have any control of the map whatsoever. And yeah, with the time ticking away, trying to walk their way in towards Monster, but Grim mowing them down. And now a 5 versus 1. Wonderful. He would do very well to hold on to his AWP here. The first shot is his. Might be fine now at this stage. Looks like he's done enough to at least have the sniper into the next round. Drops himself defensive smoke. And we will have 2 rounds in a row for Complexity. 9-8, just 1 round separating these 2 teams. First map of our best of 3. It's Anubis up next as well. It's Navi. It looked like they were going to steal it away after going 0-5, tying things up in the first half, 6-6. But 2 rounds in a row, 2 very convincing rounds, I might add, for Complexity here. You can see they had them absolutely surrounded in every single choke point. They'll save the AWP, but don't have the resources to really justify any investment around it. So let's see if they can find some picks. Maybe a bomb plant.
First game of the day, we had a couple of people that really didn't show up for some of the games, but everyone here is playing pretty well. They're all on the scoreboard. There's no one who's like really letting their team down. Floppy is kind of pulling ahead right now. He's got 15 kills, so he's really woken up now.
Yeah, looking fantastic. Always such a great B-bomb site anchor. Elige, just great in general. Every position you put him in, he seems to deliver. Up against these pistols. Does get himself 3 kills. Makes a bit of a meal of it, but the job is done. Did damage towards the 4th as well, and it will be wonderful with that AWP. Lets himself known. Does clip the wings of Grim, but unable to find the kill. Might want to try and get the AWP out of play here. And that's all he really can do.
Yeah. Throw it away so that they don't have a chance for any kind of a double up setup. That makes sense. Definitely looked like Elige was about to fumble the ball on.
Yeah, right.
Swing,
but still got like 3.5 kills, so no problem whatsoever. And it will be 9-9. Wonderful. Can't really justify saving here. He needs the resources, the cash to come through. So as silly as it sounds, he does want to die here.
Yeah. And he's kind of, realizing, I'm running out of time to even do that. All right. Oh, my God. If he get a bomb plant, too, that actually would be really sick.
Okay.
Still, he's looking for an ace clutch, and he's so low on health already. They're double flanking him. There should be no way, but there should have been no way. He got the first 2 kills anyway.
Yeah, that was a disgusting sequence there. Just one of those scenarios you think, okay, it's wonderful with the rifle. 2 kills to find on the bomb side. There's no way he gets 2 beautiful headshots, but he's delivered on all fronts so far. Bomb's ticking at some pace here. They've got kits, still a massive advantage for the CTs, and that should be enough. That smoke makes things incredibly complicated, and yet gives the position up. Great effort, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Considering he had nothing ready to speak of there, he managed to get 2 kills at $600. Gets the bomb planted, another $300 for himself, and with the bomb planted, his extra $800 per member of his team going into the next round. So he did an amazing amount of work there, considering they entered the round with, sure, an AWP, but they had 4 Glocks otherwise, and he brings it down to a 2 versus 1 with the bomb planted. Job done, if you ask me.
Yeah, that is super sick. I mean, you saw the bullet on that second player, just it was right past wonderful. If that would have caught him, he would have been dead right away. So can't believe that nobody managed to touch him, but still, a little bit of a bonus. We're all tied up, 9-9. Grenade flying right over, and oh, okay, it only does 1 damage to either player. Thought that was going to land right on top of them, but it didn't. Instead, it's also to begin with, and Floppy will be traded right away, but I do like this from Elige. This is a very tricky play. If they get this kill right here against Wonderful on the other side, and they will, I can't believe it. Now the bomb is lost. It's all the way back in those hallways.
I think the round's already over. 4-on-1. Alexi B, sure, he's got plenty of time, but there's nothing to do with it. Smoked off in every position. The bomb's down, as you mentioned. And a nice aggressive maneuver here from the CT side. They've been very good at that. Disrupting the offense.
Yeah, it's sick, isn't it? Just a little bit of spice in some of those rounds, making it quite difficult. Alexi electing to just hang out on the forklift for a long time.
It's going to be a hell of a time. 40 seconds, potentially. And it's Complexity to take the lead once again, Anders. This will be 10-9. Not much separating these two teams whatsoever, but since the gun rounds have already began here in the second half, you have to say Complexity have looked comfortable. It's their map pick, bit of a mainstay for the North Americans. So they really made a name for themselves over the last couple of years, having a very impressive T side, especially a solid B bomb side on the CT side. And we're seeing that ring true right here, right now. Complexity taking the lead, 10 seconds remaining. It's Lexi B that won't be challenged, no real reason to hunt him. Let him save the AK, diminish their resources once more, as of course he'll be getting no money going forward here. They've got around $3,200 per player. This kill from Elige was ridiculous. Wonderful knows that was his all day long. I don't think it changes the outcome of the round, but certainly a frustrating way to finish your own contributions.
Wow. Complexity in the lead, in spite of everything, in spite of the great Navi comeback that they were building. It started off a weird game, and it hasn't really got any saner since then. I just feel like it's up in the air. Floppy, though, 17 kills. He's still going, still having an impact on the game, and there's also taking down Bits. My God. They can get their sniper put into play. That could really change this.
Yeah, it's a good point. He's got free roam on the map right now up against these pistols, and the saved Alexi B, AK-47. Opening pick has been found. Bit removed. And you can see there's nothing that suggests that Navi are going to do much with this round. They've got a couple of flashes. A man disadvantage. And Elige hitting an absolute showstopper and wonderful in T-spawn.
And again, just that aggression. He's really letting them know right now. I'm not gonna just let you set up outside of the B-bomb side. I'm gonna be looking for you. That's something that's gonna be in the back of the minds of Navi going forward even. They have to think about the fact that there is a chance that Elige is gonna be sneaking up behind them. Now they're gonna lose one player there, but Elige not subject to getting flanked himself. Floppy will add another one to the scoreboard, and Complexity. My God, they're pulling it back right now. 11-9 in their favor. They just need 2 more rounds. I'm shocked.
Yeah, that's one word for it. Tactical timeout required once again by the sound of things. All kicked off here toward that connector. Horzek starting to feel himself. Elige has been great for outs. As we see him close down this round in towards T-spawn, the AK-47, making light work of Navi here. As they look to close out this first map. Second is Anubis, bear in mind. It's day 1 here of Spring Groups 2024. A new format, Anders. We started off with 12 teams in previous years. We're now up to the 16. Double elimination bracket. Winner of each group. We have 4 groups, of course. We'll go straight through towards the finals in London. 2 spots remaining, and that goes down to the second place of each group. So we'll have another bracket. Once the group's concluded to work out who will take the 2 remaining spots there. And then if you don't make it, you go to the feared showdown, Anders. No one wants to be there.
Nobody wants to be in there.
No one wants to be part of the showdown. You want to get the job done here.
Yeah, we all get to London, don't we?
Exactly. Old Blighty waiting. As you see, Complexity now on fire. That suggests they got 5 rounds in a row. God, that's a hell of a flashbang. So much damage being dished out, trying to finish off the job with the HE. It's misthrown, though.
I can't believe he's still alive.
Yeah,
it
right.
looked like he should have been dead. But either way, I mean, on Immer as well, that's a lot of damage to begin with. Holzerk back here, easily flashed off. He almost got stopped by the light post up behind. That could have been deadly. But he's out. And if nothing else, it's wasted quite a bit of time off the Navi clock.
You can see Complexity put the fear of God in towards Navi here.
Yes.
They're waiting for that aggression at the start of each and every round. They know they've been getting absolutely pantsed on this offense. Thankfully, though, no one gone down thus far, but they have taken a boatload of damage en route. 50 seconds remaining. 2 smokes, a Molotov, and a single flashbang. That's all they've got to work for. Trying to negate map points here for Complexity if possible. JL lets himself known towards Monster, but that's not where the team's finishing things up. They'll be heading towards A here. Nice incendiary. This is an iconic position for the AWP. A bomb set of overpass is incredibly difficult to flash him out of position. And they don't have much utility, as mentioned. What's the final maneuver, Anders? The bomb's still on connector.
They don't have much time, Henry.
Yeah, this is
seconds.
they're gonna have to scramble.
I'm lost for work. I feel like they've lost a round already. I have no idea what's going on. Navi!
You gotta save. You have to save.
Why?
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, back to the beer garden we go. There's nothing left.
Oh, that was ugly. That's not the finish they were looking for. Of course, once that first kill comes through, yeah, you have to save. There's no point throwing the round away entirely, but they just got nothing done there. Like we said, stunned at the start of the round. Just so fearful of the aggressive CTs, and they've conditioned them so well, Complexity that is. Just to get them so scared at the start of the round, they deploy a defensive setup this time. They've got no utility, they waste all their time, and they've just got no chance to even attempt winning the round.
The Spectre of Elige they're fighting over there. Like, he was at the B-bomb side, he wasn't even there. And they're like, oh no.
Oh, that's rough. And that might be the beginning of the end here. One more round will do it for Complexity. 6 in a row now on the CT side. You can see where they picked this map. After going up 5-0, sure, Navi got back into it, but this has been a commanding CT performance. The boss man himself, Elige, he'll pick up yet another opening frag. 18 and 12 so far, as he looks to close things out here on their map pick.
Bizarre day in the office so far for Navi. I'm so curious what happened on the second map here. Holzerk hitting a strong shot, close range against JL, who's trying to sneak through them. We're getting close to the tunnel at any rate. 3 versus 5. And now they can afford to fall back. They can put some distance here. Second map is Anubis, but still, Navi need to really wake up in the break here. There's been a weird beginning.
And it just feels like we're just going through the motions here.
Yeah.
You know, like this round feels like it's already done. You're in a 5-on-3. You've already had some very flat T-sided rounds here. Like, very uncharacteristic for a caller like Alexi B to be fumbling in towards a bomb site with 10 seconds remaining and then having to pull the ripcord, evacuate. It's not a good look. And with 25 seconds, it could be more of the same here. This will have to be one hell of a flash to take Holzerk out of position, but a missed shot gives him a lifeline.
Yes, it does. And a headshot from Bit. Maybe there is a chance. Going straight for the bomb plant. Whoa! Oh my God! Bit with the laser taking down JT. That is sick. And I mean, they had no business winning this round. They were just, I think they were so slow around the corner that the whole circuit just kind of shot into thin air. But that, I mean, otherwise he gets that kill and that's it.
A rare miss from the young Norwegian. If he hits that shot, it's done. But that's GG. All he had to do was get one. Even if he gets traded, it's over. A 5 versus 3 fumbled here at the worst possible time. When you're looking to close things out, their money is unbelievable. They'll be absolutely fine in that regard, but now NAVI just need 2 rounds to take us to overtime. Certainly possible. They've had some pretty underwhelming rounds, to put it lightly here on the T side, but they can take us to overtime and convert. All will be forgiven here, but yeah, that's going to be a bit of a heartbreaking moment, especially when Elige had to work so hard to find the initial couple of kills there. Gives them a 5 versus 3, and it all comes down to maybe an over-aggressive AWP. Like, you've got such a massive advantage. You've given them 3 1v1s there from the short position. Like, sure, he missed a shot. That's unlikely, but it happened. They didn't play the percentages, I would say, in that sort of scenario.
I think that's fair. That's reasonable. Now, Complexity, at least they have a lot of money, right? Even if they lose this round, there's still a lot to work with. Wonderful.
Damn, Elige.
Shot at Elige. Running and shooting at the same time, and just absolutely out-dueling him in that fight.
Yeah, that's a real problem. He was lucky to survive that in the previous round, but this time no dice. Another opening couple of frags here for Complexity. Another 5-on-3. Now, do they tuck away and try and bring the round towards them, or do they fight to close this one out? It looks to be the latter. And Holzak with a big miss, but thankfully doesn't go down here. Can reposition and leave one of his rifles to patrol long. That's going to be Elige. This is a common position now. In CS2 especially, this seems to be quite a meta position. Normally good for at least 1 kill. That's if he's challenged.
And if he's not, we know that at any moment he could go aggressive, he could walk up behind them.
Which he's been doing time and time again, right? He's been a real thorn in their side. So the exact same scenario, and is what we had in the previous round. A 5 versus 3, time ticking away. Looks like it's a done deal. But is there a way Complexity potentially give this one up?
You give up one of these rounds, that's one thing. Another one, who knows what could happen. JL trying to swing for it, but he's down. Alexi and him to get a bit in return. Grim trying to catch domestic cross. Not quite able to do so, but it has slowed them down once again. 20 seconds here. Imma, right position. I can't believe it. And now the Molotov on top trying to stop the bomb plant. Can he actually do that? No, not quite. The smoke is up there. Oh, that would have been a sick way to end it for Elige. Now he's on instead for the 1 versus 2. Hunting for the tunnel, looking for the kill, but look at who's fallen really far back. Imma just around the corner. He was missed by a second.
No!
With a headshot. I can't believe it. NAVI able to bring it back and win another round.
Another 5-on-3 flushed away. I can't believe it, Anders. It looked like it was a done deal. Floppy even got the initial kill. Then all of a sudden, it falls apart once again. Elige left on a 2 versus 1. Couldn't make anything of it, and it all started with that kill from Imma. Alexi B finds an opportunity to plant, and it all goes horribly wrong. Now 1 round required. 2 5-on-3s in a row, fumbled by Complexity. We said the money was strong. They should be fine for a nice full buy here. And it's Holzak once again, taking matters into his own hands, above the smoke. Looking for the opening frag once more. 2 5-on-3s given away.
Imagine
unbelievable.
It goes into overtime and they lose that overtime and they have to look back on those rounds.
It's possible.
It is possible.
And Elige said that's what they've been focusing on, like to stop fumbling the rounds that can't be lost. And that's 2 prime examples of where it's happened at the worst possible time here. Nightmarish scenes for Complexity.
See what they have, what it takes to bring this one home. They just need a little bit more. 1 more round will do it. Bombs are quite far back. Remember, it's not like NAVI are playing flawless Counter-Strike either. They had their own mishaps. They keep running out of time. They're running the clock down very, very low. And again, they're out searching for Elige on the side of the map. They're making sure that he's not anywhere to stab them in the back. 50 seconds, and the bomb has been picked up by JL just now in the hallways. So this could be another round where the clock runs down quite low. At the corner, he's ready for it. Sneaking out, the timing is good for him. He's going to get that one just as Imma was thinking about jumping on the other side. He couldn't even fight back because I think he had his knife out.
Spotted. It's going to be Grim, and down he goes. Overtime is on the card. It's down to JT, in-game leader. He's been fantastic in CS2, unable to find one. Bit will help him out. 2 versus 2. Holzerg trying to connect the dots here. The bomb yet to be planted. It's going to come down to the wire here. Can they get the C4 down? And Holzerg, he swings wide down to Floppy, the clutch master. He can't do it. Complexity have fumbled. Map point 3 rounds in a row. Opening kill kills found each and every single time. Unleash did it once again, Anders. He found them the opening frag, and they can't hold on. What an absolute disaster for the North American organization, as now we go to overtime, and NAVI in a prime position to steal this map away once again.
Oh, someone's going to leave this opening map completely heartbroken, right? Complexity of all of this to look back on. I mean,
these are the moments as well. You think like Hulzerk, we haven't seen one of his quick scopes or his fast clutches come through. When he's really tested, when he really has to deliver, it hasn't come through. He's had a struggle in the second half, it has to be said.
The stress.
It's a stressful environment out there right now. You've got to do everything you can of your TEC to stop this team tilting off the face of the planet.
I don't know how you stop that from happening, but you're right. Like that is
because the problem is as well, it's Elise getting all these opening frags, and he's the guy who's going to be frustrated, right?
Yeah.
You're the guy you've got to contain, and he's just doing God's work out there, finding you 2 frags at the start of every bloody round, and you can't convert it. You choke it in the dying moments of those last 3 rounds. I can't believe we're saying this. We're going to overtime. Everything's reset now. And it's going to be complexity. Then he's picked themselves up, dust themselves down as we get into the first round here. Full reset.
Well, let's see if this is something that can really spark NAVI. They should be feeling a lot more alive right now because they just had a second chance at life. They should have been losing this map already. And instead, they force it. They will it into overtime. Grim getting spammed a little bit down. Not happy about it, I'm sure. A lot of damage onto LXC and JL too, so a little bit of give and take across the map. Still worried about that Elige flank. You could tell they're very actively on the T side looking for it. And even that is something that's going to be annoying to them. There we go, another opening.
Okay, I'm going to bring the stats up. This is wild.
He's so good at it. Wonderful. Oh, and Elige able to best him. Wonderful's had some big slip-ups in some of these rounds.
Elige is 7-1 in opening duels right now. That's another double kill. Another 5-on-3. Single-handedly picked up by the star of complexity.
They ask of one man.
They can't. This round, stop being silly at this point. Let's win this round. Put this one to bed. Can't afford to lose this.
If they lose this one, Henry, you go to you run in there and yell at them.
Yeah, call the timeout myself. The lads, this is just unacceptable now. Elige can't do more than this. 22 kills, another double kill. This time in the first round of overtime. But there's always a chance. When there's a will, there's a way. Missed Molotov, I think.
Yeah, a little bit. That's going to make it a lot trickier. Only 10 seconds on the clock, and Floppy, that kills all you need. That's all you need in any one of the other rounds. This would have been enough, and they would have been winning the map already, but they'll win the first one in overtime. Elige with more openings.
Wow.
My God.
This one they actually convert. Well done to Elige. An absolute tour de force towards middle. Continues to find kill after kill. Another great position. How he gets a second, I will never know. It's wonderful that gets absolutely wrecked in the proceedings, and Floppy, like we said, an incredibly strong B anchor, generally speaking, manages to deliver the goods there as we find ourselves at 13-12 or 1-0 for complexity here in overtime.
Similar game plan for NAVI. See, they're stretching out, they're trying to clear out all the way towards the restrooms. Can't really blame them. And a new position, new look for Elige. He's now down in connector, so he's trying to keep it fresh himself. I mean, it can be very, very tricky to have to sort of reinvent your position over and over and over again, but he's done an amazing job so far. He's vulnerable to any kind of a flank coming through the middle, but he's probably counting on Grim to make sure that no one's going to be slipping through the net quite so easily. Goes back to check, and actually, I wonder if they're going to know. Footsteps falling back a little bit. Elige could still be put to the test. You could see right down below. It's going to be Hulzerk instead. Picking off JL to begin with, but Bit missing his chance for a surprise attack against Elige. There's wonderful shooting with the back instead. A 4-on-4. All right, so far so good for NAVI.
Here we go then. 4-4 technically favors the T side, but maybe Grim's got something to say about that. Imma beats him to the punch though. Nice headshot with the AK-47. They start to pick up the pace towards this A side of the map. Hulzerk low HP as well. It's down to the AK-47 and JT. Currently at 12 kills. Listening up for rotations here.
Look,
rotations are coming through. Oh, you're right.
25 seconds. Also, he's going to get the kill on Imma, but just the clock is going to be run down, so they just don't get the entry and just clear out the bomb site, but they can't really wait for the bomb.
If they somehow get floppy with an insta-kill, maybe there's a chance. There's the first. They're going to pre-fire this position. Alexi B. Oh my god, the head on a swivel. The bomb should be planted with seconds to spare here. It's JT now in the 2 versus 1. He knows exactly where they are, but it doesn't seem to matter. A beautiful hat-trick from the in-game leader, Alexi B. Time was of the essence. Complexity had everything going in their favor, but a couple of quick kills and a scramble to plant the bomb. Alexi B leads the way as they tie things up at 1-1. Look at this.
The margin for error is so tiny. By the way, the flash that hits him is thrown down from the B bomb side, on the CT side. There's actually a friendly flash that's thrown to Grim, but it just comes a second late. Unfortunately, otherwise a great idea for Grim to take that peek. So I can't believe, like you said it, they had to get the instant kill on Floppy, and they did. Alexi himself picking up the mantle, just going for it. He's got 20 kills right now. But this round, third round of overtime, will start with Holzer getting the kill on Imma.
They've had so many opening frags on the CT side. It seems like Navi start on the back foot each and every round.
Yeah, it's true.
But can Complexity convert this one? Looking for a 2-1 finish on their CT campaign. Pretty par for the course. Taking out Imma early on. Wonderful still with his AWP in towards middle. Double stack in this bathroom position. Alexi B with long control, waits towards the flower bed itself. But where do they finish up here? Ozak will be baiting in Elige, of course, as he patrols towards the divider.
Well, this time they're a little bit speedier, Navi. The clock running down so low. I mean, it's a scary way to play the game. 45 seconds. I like this double position, though. Elige in a position that's hard to clear out on the T side. You could see Bit feeling uncomfortable. Elige nearly with another double kill. Holzer missing a shot that he definitely should have hit there. And JL gets a lot of damage on the Grim on top of everything else. Still 28 seconds. Grim trying to set up himself, but he gets burned alive.
Oh, that's a disaster. I think the grenade hits as well, Anders. It's Navi with the man disadvantage at the start of the round, converting yet another round. 2-1. And it looked like the job was done there. Complexity with the opening frag. Another 5-on-4 in their favor, Anders, but it's never quite enough. This has been a disastrous close to Overpass. They give this map up now, they will be kicking themselves. They had everything going in their favor. Elise playing out of his mind.
Yes.
It's Floppy with a double kill here, but just didn't have enough to work with as it gets traded out. 2-1 Navi. Let's need one round. The series point, or map point, I should say. Apologies.
No, but it's true. I mean, like, this is the kind of game that you're going to remember when you're lying in bed at night, right? Isn't the kind of game you walk away from and say, oh, you know, it happened. You're going to think, oh, there's so many rounds that we should have won, like, easily.
And the fact you had the 5-0 start as well, right?
No. Oh, there's a lot here to make this a painful experience for Complexity, but they can also still win the map. We'll see. And second half coming up now of overtime.
It was the 5-0 start on the T side. Just really rub salt in the wound. But yeah, this is a game it felt like they had all tied up. Especially with those 5-on-3s at series map points. He says again, at map point they had, what, 3 opportunities to close this one out with a man advantage. Didn't happen. Good flash. Wonderful eats it. But still holds strong in his position.
Navi just need 2 more rounds here to finish the overtime, and Wonderful will set them off on a correct course, taking down Grim to begin with, trying to get flashed into that fight. And now it feels like they're getting maybe a little bit more almost funneled toward this bomb side here. Getting pushed into the B bomb side, our Complexity. They have 3 Molotovs, so they can burn out a lot of this bomb site, but they don't have enough smokes to really make it interesting. Oh, and what a counter grenade coming out from the CT side. That really slows them down.
It's going to be a difficult finish here for Complexity, Anders.
Yeah.
5 versus 4. They are locked out of the bomb site. It's down to Elige here, who needs to try and get this first frag. Can't deliver on that promise. The flashes are good, but the shots and the spray down is better. 10 seconds remain. Horzerk has it all to do. A flashbang to the face. No chance of winning the round now. Only option is to try and save the AWP. A small consolation prize, as he won't even be finding that. It's map point for Navi. An absolute rug pull on the CT side here. It looked like they were in cruise control. Complexity, that is.
Yeah.
But now it's all fallen apart. They need to hold their nerve and post 2 rounds here to take us to double overtime.
And really a masterclass in defending the B-bomb site. They had a double Molotov for the L-bend when 2 of the CTs, 2 of the Ts, including the bomb, were out here, and then they flashed. This is the last one. So they had 3 incredible grenades to just crush Complexity's attempt to get into the B-bomb site. It was really, really sick from Navi. That's you know, that's something you want to see, like that kind of defense. And a reason why you want the grenades at the end of the round. You don't want to use all of them right at the start.
So Blade looking for the haymaker knockout punch here.
Yes, he is.
Calls for the timeout. You get 1 extra in overtime, of course. And can it be done here? That's Complexity. They're in a world of trouble. 2 rounds needed just to keep their head above water on their map pick. A job that felt like it was done in regulation has spiraled out of control. Imma ready to get stuck in with his AK-47. Good flashbang over the top. Can hear footsteps heading towards that playground position. Does he have the audacity to go for the first pick? He certainly does. Objective now, try and survive. Retreat in towards the bathrooms, which he has done so successfully. NAVI with the man advantage here, looking to close things out on overpass.
How much does Grim trust himself? Does he want to keep going out on long? He might have had the timing. Yeah, there we go. You could see Imma. He's running up. No idea that anyone is there yet.
Great pre-fire from Grim.
Yeah.
Assertive. Oh, they're going to push Monster on the CT side, Anders. So, information garnered, but difficult to rotate into a prime position with 2 players so heavily committed in towards Monster. Objective now for the A defenders, try and hold them off as long as possible. They have all the intel required. Grenades being exchanged. Is this where Navi close things out? It's wonderful. AWP on the bomb site, joined by Alexi B. He's got the incendiary as well, just to make sure it's a really complicated maneuver for them to make their way in towards A. Powerful smoke, flashbang to be deployed, but Wonderful can't hit the shots.
Well, Alexi, he's so flashed, he ends up going down. Wonderful trapped as well. Oh my god, they might have found a way through here. JL. They even had the rotation to try and get a 3rd man onto the bomb site, but it just wasn't in time. The grenades coming out from Complexity in this one looked really solid. Especially that flash, that whatever it was that hit Alexi. He just couldn't really put himself into the fight. I do like the idea from Alexi as well. He threw the Molotov out on long, and that means that it's a lot easier for Wonderful. He's kind of setting up his AWP player to have an easier time hitting the shots down towards the restrooms, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. But it's a good idea anyway. 14-15. Could be going for double overtime, Henry.
Oh, it could be. That opening frag found by Imma towards middle. It was a thing of beauty. Couldn't quite escape the claws of Grim. He finds that beautiful shot towards long. Makes things uncomfortable there. The CTs were ready in position with 3 more players. This was that shot. Oh, nothing Imma could do. And then a great flashbang. Nice execution. And it's the in-game leader, JT, mowing them down with the AK-47. Blade cannot call the timeout now. This has already been expended. And is this where they close things out? Or is it going to be double overtime here? The AUG has been deployed by Bit. First time we're seeing in this tournament. Incendiaries down towards top of middle. Aggressive once again. Imma wants to get stuck in at the very start of the round. Very meta smoke towards the T steps. Flashbang towards the playground position, courtesy of Alexi B. Imma's going to swing off it. Good flash. Better follow-up. He gets the opening frag once again. If he can survive this time and maintain the 5-on-4 Anders, it could be enough, but still, he has not found his way out of dodge.
And it's Elige that he gets the kill on as well. JT probably wanted to fight him, but he has the bomb as well, so he can't really just extend into it and fight Imma. If he dies, the bomb is lost.
Oh, that nade.
My god, what hit them? That's so much damage.
Some sort of nuclear bomb. Good lord, and the incendiary makes things even more uncomfortable. A sound cue given over. And 1 minute remains. 5 versus 4. Floppy and Hulzerk incredibly wounded. They have lots of utility. They've got that going for them. Yeah, but time is of the essence, so 50 seconds and back towards A we go.
Because they lost the fight to Imma, they have no control over on this side of the map, so it's going to feel really awkward. You can see how Grim
you're right.
Everything, right?
Yeah,
you have no idea where they are.
You have literally no idea. He could be in playground, party, bathrooms. They'll stick together.
Look how far away the bomb is, Henry. There's 30 seconds left. I'm feeling another catastrophe coming here for Complexity. This is starting to look very, very difficult.
Nice work from Wonderful. Drops the incendiary to call for a rotation over. Bear in mind, they still have the 5 and 4 at their advantage. Wonderful hasn't really had one of his pop-off moments on this side of the map, and his woes will continue here. Imma waiting for a chance to strike, just wants to deny the plan, but JL beating him to the punch. It might be enough here. NAVI with a reverse sweep after going down 0 and 5. They complete the comeback after Complexity fumble round after round at map points. An absolute disaster for the North Americans, and it's NAVI on their opponent's map pick, bringing it all together on land for the first time. A great performance all around. It's Anubis up next.
I can barely believe my eyes, Jake, but I'll be great honest with you. I have no idea what the hell just transpired. This whole story changed and unfolded at each and every turn, every round, adding more disbelief to what I was looking at. What the hell happened at the end of the game? What the hell just went on?
What the hell happened in the beginning of the game, Matthew? It was a game from start to finish that had no rhythm, that had no sense made up for it, right? As you said, at the end of the game, it felt like Complexity were in full control. It felt like Complexity was supposed to win their own map pick. They were looking good, they were solid, they were in control. Out of nowhere, they lose a couple of rounds that I'm sure we're going to dive into. And going into overtime, it felt like a game that was completely open again, when neither of the two teams really played well or good or, you know, smooth Counter-Strike, but at the end of the day, the least worst team ended up winning right here. Kudos to NAVI for finding their way back into the game. For Complexity, though, the way they lost this game, that's gonna sting for a long, long time. Well, I guess not, because they don't have a long time.
Let's be real. There were a couple of throws out there. There were actual throws, as we like to refer to it when it comes to Counter-Strike. Let's just roll them. Let's have a look at them, right? This is kind of clockwork right there. We're gonna have a look at some of the 5v3s that Complexity lost at the end of this game. We're talking about a 12-9 5v3. It starts here. 20 seconds on the clock as Alzerk misses this shot and everything crumbles around. Floppy is a little bit impatient. It allows Bit, who, by the way, up until this moment was very quiet in this game, 2 very clinical opening kills. And you think that's all right. Complexity, they've got time to work with. It's going to be 12-10. Everybody just relax. The problem is you roll back to the next round. 34 seconds left this time. 5v3, same situation.
It's even a 5v2, right? I know the refrag coming in right here, but again, at this point, Complexity, they shouldn't be in doubt. Grim even gets the information. Halsrick, for some reason, is being caught off guard completely, misses another shot, and once again, it all falls apart for Complexity. Now, as you said, you shouldn't worry, because every single round, they got themselves into a 5v2, a 5v3, but when you can't convert on those rounds, when you leave a leash up in a 1v2 with the bomb planted after you're up in a 5v2, it's completely unacceptable for Complexity. Elish even said it coming into the game. The difference between their peak and their floor is too great, and we saw another example of this in this game.
I'm genuinely upset when I look at these rounds.
Should be.
I'm actually angry when I look at it. I think about the contribution that Elish was putting for Complexity, the amount of entry kills. It's a topic that was mentioned by the cast as well, very aptly. 7-1 in opening kills at some point. Always tip of the spear towards the party, towards the fountain area, putting Complexity in these positions. And, you know, I go to a physical therapist in there, they get my back cracked. They always tell me, if you have an issue, if one of your muscle is doing too much, eventually you're going to have pains overall in your body, right?
Okay.
That's what's happening in Complexity. They need a chiro. They need a chiropractor, because Elish is way too contracted. He's doing way too much. I mean, if you're Elish right now, aren't you freaked the F out?
Yeah, you should be a little bit mad, yeah?
You'd be more mad than you are with your viewers when you play Face-It.
Yeah, that's hard to be
That's what
honest.
you would be.
Yeah, exactly. Yes and no, right? Complexity, they played well up until that point, and I hate to do it, but we have to single out a player right here. Halsrick had a couple of rounds where he single-handedly lost them rounds, you know, and he had moments in the game as well where he played well, so it's not like it was only his fault, but in the beginning of the game, it was 5-0 for Complexity. Halsrick misses an easy 1v1. He can't win it. I think we have it on screen right here, where it's just looking solid for Complexity. The T side is good, the pacing is good, NAVI is nowhere to be found on the server. Unfortunately, they lose this round, and it spins out of control. For Halsrick to lose the 1v1 we're gonna see right here is not too big of an issue, because it can happen to anyone, but he had 3 or 4 rounds where he single-handedly missed a shot that ended up in them losing rounds. So for him, personally, this was a very rough game.
I agree with you, and it's beyond just the miss, it's the context and the consequences of the miss. He had in this very moment, even if Complexity is already up 5-0, he's got 2 sitters, absolute sitters that he actually missed. And then I keep an eye on him, I keep an eye on his crosser placement and how he moves around the map, and you can see doubt is sort of starting to creep in. And it might not be very apparent when you look at the scoreboard, but he keeps up with the group, right? He keeps up with the average. It doesn't feel like he's lagging behind. But then you fast forward to moments where his right, or his click, rather the left click, is going to be the difference between winning and losing the game. And this is where you pay the price. That goddamn interest rate on that invoice you haven't paid, it just comes a knocking, and he misses a few of these shots. And even though the scoreline is 18-18, so at first sight, you might look at this scoreboard thinking, oh, you know, he was average.
Yeah.
No, the impact, the implications of some of these misses are horrible to bear. And there is no way in hell that you hold it right now and you don't feel like you lost the game. You might be exaggerating.
Sure.
You might not be right that you completely lost it, but you bear a whole responsibility on your shoulders in these moments.
He's aware, right? He's well aware of how the game is structured. He's well aware around the positions he had that he could have solved the game for them. He could have closed the game. The 12-9 round where he misses that shot, it all falls apart. So yeah, for Holzerg, it's a rough one. However, I do want to spin it into something positive, and that's for Navi, for the sake of
Absolutely.
Navi. I don't think Navi played a great game of Counter-Strike. They struggled massively at the beginning of the game. Then they fought their way back into it. On their T side in the beginning, it was looking all right, but then they hit a wall again where they had to win a couple of these, you know, unwinnable situations. So if you're Navi, you're winning your opponent's map pick without playing well. Isn't that another sign of them getting better and trending upwards? That now you're at a point where even if you're not playing well, you can still be competitive. You can still win games. I'm positively surprised by Navi once more, and I think it's a trend right now that they are slowly but surely getting better.
I don't think I have the right not to be happy for them, right?
Yeah.
I do believe that they ran pretty dry on their T side for a while, and you're talking about a 5v3 where Navi can't find solution, but the truth is, as soon as they unlocked, as soon as they won some of these rounds, you're starting to have individuals that started popping off. You're starting to have Alexi being a little bit more on the money when it comes to the timing of the rounds, and I think Ime, for example, is a character that we can put under the spotlight just a little bit. I mean, he's obviously someone we talk a lot when it comes to Navi. He's someone that they put a lot of trust and responsibility on as well. You think he took Bit's position on the CT side. He's the A anchor, A aggressive rifle. Bit is playing now B, which is a kind of a weird side for me. And if you keep track of Navi coming back into this game once their backs was against the wall, I think Ime had a couple of these great moments. Shout out to him. I think it's one of these wins that feel really great.
It's a big point of conversation for us. How is Immer going to fare Navi? How is he going to play? How much is going to be impactful within the lineup? We even said it coming into the game. You're looking at Navi and you're looking at the foundation slowly but surely being built up. They're remaining competitive in certain games. Did well at the Armas as well, but they need that one player who can pop off on the server. We know Bit used to do it. He hasn't been the same young Bit that we saw come out and burst into the scene 3 years ago. Immer was supposed to be the next one. He's not blowing up the server per se, but I think he's getting more, you know, comfortable within Navi. He's getting more space. He's getting more comfortable in the situation that he's being put in. And if that's a trend also going upwards for them, that could be what's unlocking the full potential of Navi.
Well, that would be obviously a terrifying perspective. I don't really know where teams are psychologically speaking. Usually we have longer break here. The format makes it quite intense. So Complexity only have a few minutes to take a deep breath, while Navi is probably going to ride that momentum wave as high as they can. We take a 3 minutes break. I have to calm down. I'm still enraged. I'm still upset. I'll see you after this.
Welcome to the Blast Spring Final. Hell yeah. I'm ready. I'm excited. The stage is set. Who's going to lift that trophy? Oh! What is that? It all comes down to the next 3 maps of Counter-Strike. All right. Okay. And he can't believe it.
Oh my god. The spring final in London, of course, is what these teams are fighting for, what we are getting ourselves ready for. Of course, this is going to be in Wembley at the half of the year, but it is still a far cry for most of these teams. We are at the beginning of this long journey, and I'm immediately going to put it out there. The conversation around Complexity was, first of all, have a higher floor when things or shit hit the fan, pardon my French, and 2, being able to mentally reset between some of these hard moments. And I feel like we are exactly in this very moment, Jacob. I feel like, Complexity, the challenge now is to move on a second map, completely forgetting, ignoring the catastrophe that you just witnessed on Overpass, because objectively, Complexity is not a bad Anubis team.
No, not at all. I think Complexity is not a bad team on Anubis as well. And as said, there were moments in the game on Overpass where they played well, but a couple of deciding moments made them being thrown out of it. We've seen before with Complexity, though, that they struggle sometimes to bounce back of a hard loss or of a hard deficit. So I'm curious as well whether or not they have the capabilities of doing so. I think the way they speak about themselves, the way they present themselves in interviews, is portrayed as a team that is growing, that is maturing, that has gotten better at that very element. But it's a big task when you're going up against NAVI, who is a formidable Anubis team as well. And it's one of the few maps where NAVI actually have been playing consistently well against some of the best teams in the world.
It's one of the first maps where it felt like Alexibi kind of let his whole style shine through the way NAVI was playing, and it was great to see. You mentioned Complexity. I agree. I think they've had some very decent results on the map. The stats past 3 months are a little bit misleading because there's a loss to FaZe, there's a loss to Vitality. Those are very big clients. They played against NAVI in Copenhagen, and they, as Complexity, started by getting beaten down on their CT side. We're talking 3 rounds only against the lead of Alexibi. So what do you think should be the first adjustment? What do you think should be the trap not to fall into if you're Complexity and you want to put your best foot forward?
I mean, be proactive. We always say it, but Anubis is probably the map where it's the most important. You cannot sit back and wait for the game to come to you. You have to be proactive. You have to take charge of the map. I also remember that game where they come back into it, and it was Floppy with some insane clutches, insane plays on that CT side where he shut it down. So a lot of individual brilliance was needed for Complexity as well in order to make that competitive. I say you go out there, you play your own brand of Counter-Strike, and I hate saying that, but on a map like Anubis, it is essential, because if you're not proactive, if you're not attacking the map will do it for you.
That's a beautiful quote indeed, Jacob. If you're not proactive, the map will come to you. Henry, I know you have an ability to talk to people, to touch people in their emotions. If you were behind Complexity right now, what would you say to them so they can bring their best game?
I'm glad you said emotions, Maniac. I wasn't sure where you were going with that one. I'm not sure what you can say after that one, because everyone was just tilted off the face of the planet, ladies and gentlemen. There were 3 map points available for Complexity on their own pick as well. A 5-0 start. You've got a Liege going in God mode, but it still wasn't nearly enough to pick up Overpass here. We move on to Anubis now. That manning the screen. He has to hold it together. He has to rely on his teammates here to deliver the goods here, Anders, because that was thrown away. That was their game in the palm of their hands, and they squandered it.
You know, it's so much harder to hold together when you are right to be angry, right? When you kind of have that on your side, you're like, I actually should be mad at this point in time, but obviously that doesn't serve the team. Hopefully they can recover themselves and get into the second map here. We're on Anubis now, and it's Complexity versus NAVI, with Complexity starting on the T side, so they might have a chance here to you know, do a little bit of damage early on. That'd be nice.
It would be very nice indeed. They've gone for a pretty bare-bones setup, though. A single Molotov, relying on the Elite P250 that was oh so powerful in the T-side pistol of Overpass. He got 3 kills with it, Anders. So they've got some decent control already. Slight footstep towards middle. There's that Molotov deployed. So this is a set-piece strategy. Now, do they push in towards the temple or wait for the flames to extinguish? It looks like they're actually going to go through temple in towards B. Lots of sound cues here, though.
Yeah, but the sheer force of what's coming through might be hard to stop. Missed shots from JL, but
we'll take it. We'll take it.
Knock out Elige, steals the P250. A little adventure from Floppy, but he's going to get down as well. The bomb trying to be planted now, but a hard retake coming in here. Oh my God, Holzberg is hunting for them. This is actually a bit of a problem for NAVI.
Yeah, all of a sudden the wheels have fallen off and they're not going to find anything else. Finally, a bit of luck there for Complexity. A 5-on-3 going in their favor after losing the first couple of kills. It looked like another fumbled round with Floppy not able to connect the shots there from the Rugs position. But once the bomb was planted, Hulzerg went berserk as he starts dominating them with a Glock. It was a low HP Wonderful around the corner there. And then JT stepping up. It looked like the round was all said and done. And the fact they even got the plant down, we're like, at least they've got that. But there it is. It's Complexity bouncing back. JL. A little bit frustrated, and yeah, that for Floppy, he knows if they end up losing that round, he'd be kicking himself because those sort of frags, and they're not looking at you, and you kind of fumble it a little bit. That can be difficult to recover from. But for now, a guaranteed round, a full eco here. Elige has already got full mid control.
Yeah, he's just jumped right through. He's called their bluff, and no one's going to be defending this one. There's a USP on the other side, but there's nothing Bit really can do about it. It's just, it doesn't have the stopping power. It'd be different if they had no head armor, obviously, but they do. And they will clear out the bomb side and get the bomb planted. It's a pretty straightforward work coming out here for Complexity in this round. Grim cleaning it up in the middle. A little bit of assistance from Hulzerg, not that it really needed it. And Elige, well, you can find the headshot towards the end, so... Still say Elige did a lot of work to just to open up the map, even if he just got the one kill here. But either way, no casualties on the T side.
Well, we're back. We're cooking. Gun round for NAVI here after taking the full eco. Certainly some troubling signs after giving that pistol up, but they can recover this one. It's Complexity. Will have all the advantages you could ask for, though. They've got the Galils, the AKs, MAC-10. Helmet watch will have to be observed here. Two players with the helmets, and it might not matter. JT, he'll find his demise through the smoke quickly on into the round here. Early frag for JL as he patrols towards middle. Nice grenade, though. Doesn't quite hit the mark.
Yeah, could have definitely been a quick follow-up one, so could have been some damage onto JL, but he's going to be okay for the minute. Nobody outside of the B bomb side on the T side, so we'll see. I mean, we had a bit of a lesson earlier watching NIP play against G2, how effectively Hooksy was able to go outside of the B bomb side,
yeah.
Shoot them in the back like it's a really, and you can see
his timings were impeccable.
Yeah, it was sick, wasn't it? It's like 2 or 3 rounds where he got the full rotation towards the other bomb side because of it.
All right then, nice smoke. Just dissecting the middle area. Bear in mind, it's still a 5 versus 4. JL playing a dangerous game here, Anders. And somehow the Molotov not really affecting him. The bullet certainly affecting Elige. Takes a face full of it. 5 on 2. And you're right, the bomb is there. So what's the play now from Complexity? To try and make the round as expensive as possible, I would have to say. As you can see the CTs making sure they tuck themselves in here. No one wants to overextend, give their life up. The money is incredibly brittle. I think it would be an apt word for it. Nice spray down from Wonderful. They can keep this one clean. That's just what they needed here. But bear in mind, bit of a bonus round from the T side here. They had the MAC-10 and 3 Galils. TC, he understands what that particular round means. They didn't find a single frag. That does not bode well on your opponent's map pick. But it does start with a bit of an unfortunate beginning. The fact that they lost a kill through the smoke, that's not sustainable for the CT side. Fortunate as Wonderful keeps it clean. 5 players survive for Navi. Nice injection of cash and money. About the same as the previous round. 2 Galils, 3 AKs. See if they can bounce back here.
Yeah, it's not amazing at the moment, but they can get the job done, certainly. Complexity, I'm sure they'd love to swing back early on against Navi and try and stop them before they really get rolling. But I mean, Navi are going to be coming out of that first map with probably some extra passion, getting it into overtime after being that far behind, and then actually winning the overtime as well.
Then they actually win it.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Sick stuff.
Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah.
Oh, jail. Good position. Smoke's landed, kind of segments Elige off from the rest of the team, and he gets shot right in the face, and no one can do anything. That smoke is stopping anyone else.
Oh, JL, relax. Get the hell out of there. That's the job done. Molotov, and please retreat. He's done very well there to get the drop on Elige. To be honest with you, that was looking rough. Elige actually best of smoke and had the advantage. And now 3 players creeping in towards the dark room. They have basic utility available to them. Horzerk to lead the way. Got to get past Emma first. One of the key fraggers gets the first, but nice trade from Floppy. He's still fighting from the dark room here. They've done well to bring it back into a 3 versus 2. Bomb to be planted for sure. Dark's exposed, but Grim will cover it. And you can see now Complexity with a fighting chance. They can make something of this one. It's down to Floppy, though. Peeking first, using the incandescence of the flames to give himself a bit of an advantage, but Bit reads it like a book.
Got to be careful that Wonderful doesn't die with the kit too far away here, because he's the only one that has one right now. But, oh, there we go. He does get shut down. They're going to run straight on top. Hit or not, they're going to have the defuse. But there was a world in which Wonderful dies so far away that they actually can't recover the kit, and there's just not enough time for it. So, a little bit of scary moment, but still, good defense overall from the CT side. They're going to be able to pick this one up. It was a bit expensive at the end, but, you know, still, job done.
Hey, you take it all day long. Just winning these rounds on the CT side. As mentioned, Anubis considered to be one of the most T-sided affairs we have in the pool. Early days in CS2, I'm sure that will chop and change as the map evolves with these open skyboxes of Counter-Strike 2. But that's a significant round for Navi to win. You can see it's left Complexity in a pretty compromised position. Tech9's Deagle, they have got some Kevlar behind it. Also can't justify considering he's the sniper, of course. Perfect incendiary. JT, you madman. That's a double kill for Emma. Nice idea. You can see what they're trying to do there. Just overwhelm the CT in defense, and it works out. They managed to at least get a kill from it.
And you know what? That kind of Molotov that Emma throws, it's surprising how often people throw that kind of Molotov and then not even check it. They're like, they just assume that no one's coming through. So I guess good job on Emma for actually paying attention. That happens more than you'd want to see. But every once in a while, you just throw it. You think, okay, that's it. It's a Molotov. No one's running through it, but they definitely can. 3 versus 4. Another kill here definitely be interesting. 2 more kills for Complexity, and we're celebrating. JL backtracking just as they turn the corner. Now they're all on top of him. There's one of them.
Okay. It's still a little bit interesting here. It's the AWP in a very compromised position. Alone on an island, and Grim's already gonna get him. I take it all back. That is crazy from Wonderful to hold his nerve there. If he goes down, the bomb's planted and potentially the round's given up. But hits the shot with the USP, of course. Holds on to his sniper. And it's close, but no cigar for Grim, who has had a great series so far. Individually, him and Elige have looked fantastic. But things, once again, starting to get a little bit problematic here on the T side of Anubis. If you are just joining us, it's day 1 here of Spring Groups 2024. This is Group C. We already had one game from this group. That was G2 versus NIP. G2 coming out on top. And bear in mind, the loser of this game will go on to play NIP in the lower bracket. Lose that next series, and you are out of groups to go into the showdown.
Yeah. NIP definitely needs some recovery time.
There's no like
game.
last chance anymore, or even a last chance like we used to have in the old format. It's 2 losses, you're done.
I prefer this.
I think everyone does. We've got more teams. Everything's best of 3 the way through. 4 games a day throughout the entire week. Yeah, lots of Counter-Strike, lots of heartbreak, lots of drama. As Imma looks to twist the knife. It's JT, though, beats him to the punch. The Galil strikes first.
That's a really important kill for Floppy, right? The grenade on top. I don't know how he's meant to win that fight. Wonderful the one to take him down, but it could have just as well been the rifle on top of the plateau there. 4 versus 4 now. And under a minute, another Molotov to really push them back and slow them down. Alexi,
what?
Through the smoke, takes down Grim. What a kill.
That's wild from Alexi B. Pushing the smoke of his own flashbang, but Wonderful is there to pick up the pieces. 1 player remains, but what a player it is. Elige with 40 seconds remaining, 100 HP, no grenades, and an idea of where Wonderful is. Flicks it around, and he's got a fighting chance down to 4 points of health. You'd think Bill will take care of him. If he gets the quick kill on Wonderful, you'd never know. The 180 flick around, though. Beautiful from Elige, but still the round will slip away from their grasp. And you can see that might be the tactical timeout here, as this one is starting to spiral now. They got the opening frag there, but it's Wonderful to steal it back. Alexi B with the fancy footwork at the back of the B bomb site. Wonderful, double kill. And Elige, he's giving it absolutely everything he's got out there, Anders, but still not quite enough. 4-2 in favor of Navi as they hunt for a 2-0 scoreline.
I really thought that if he found that kill on Wonderful, maybe there was a chance for Elige. It looked like he was in the zone right there, but 4 rounds already for Na'Vi. They're trying to see if they can break through towards the B bomb side. They actually run right through the smoke. This is pretty dangerous. The Tech-9 will take down Imma. Yeah, Alexi, you might not want to give her the bomb plant here, but you have to stay alive. This has suddenly got a lot more dangerous. JT, he steals the M4, takes down Alexi B. Now it's a 3 versus 5. And that bomb is already planted. This is very tricky. JT just keeps it up. A double kill for him. I don't know what happened. Na'Vi, they've lost the round.
Oh, yeah, absolutely true. This was the partial buy with the Tech-9s. They breached the bomb site. A whiff spray has led them to their demise here. The money's not exactly amazing. They're trying to make this as expensive as possible on the retreat there. Nice little spam coming through from JL. Doesn't find the frag, but his opposition does. JT with the double kill. You can always rely on JT when you're down and desperate. He always seems to be the player that kind of digs them out of these sort of scenarios. So great stuff from the in-game leader, as that's a much-needed round. Breaks the streak. That would have been 5 rounds in a row if Na'Vi found that one. So just what the doctor ordered. Imma goes down first, and then recovering that M4 finds Alexi B at the back towards CT as well. Great stuff. You can see they're not exactly fired up just yet. This is a recovery mission now for Complexity.
Yeah, it is. You're right. They're not really celebrating it. And even after that round, Blade was saying, you know what? Let's just talk this through. You could see a little bit of frustration as well on Alexi when they lost that round. He wasn't feeling very happy. So maybe there's a good chance for Blade to have a bit of an input into the team here. It's surprising how often this happens at the B bomb side though on Anubis, where, you know, just one T player slips by and the whole defense just crumbles.
Can happen. Na'Vi still with okay cash. Say they were bated breath. We are seeing the first SMG deployed here on the CT side. It's going to be the MP9 for Alexi B, and looks to be a bit of a set piece potentially. Running with conviction towards the A side of the map, Anders. First spawn can go down the steps and challenge towards A main. Has to be the best spawn available though. And Elige, good God, that's some pace behind the mid push. Doesn't work out for him. That's been a key duel we've seen time and time again. Elige versus JL. This time, it's Na'Vi coming out on top. Another opening frag here.
Once again, JL sticking around after winning the fight, being low on health. I know he wanted to pick up the AK instead of the M4, but he almost died trying to do that. So quite tricky for him. And now he's a little bit further back, which is where you want to be. What does Complexity do to get back into this round? They have some time, but...
Oh, it's so much damage for Floppy. And that might be his round nullified here. That's kind of his role on the T side of Anubis. He'll be lurking towards A main, trying to find a pick, trying to be a nuisance. But when you take that much damage at the start, difficult to imagine a world where he had the confidence to just walk in by himself and find a quick headshot. 45 seconds, has to be the B split here, Anders. You've got Grim outside B main. They've got a couple of smokes, one of which has been deployed already. You assume towards the B side itself. Oh, the Incendiary is going to be brutal to deal with. As soon as that smoke dissipates, Incendiary will be deployed. And then at that point, it's going to be very difficult. They're going to have to challenge. They have to, and it's Holzerg. Great reaction. Great kill. 20 seconds. The smoke is stifling for Wonderful.
Yes, it is. There's a little grenade falling down right on top, but they're still through. They actually will get the bomb planted. Great understanding on Complexity. You're right. They had to run through the Molotov. Otherwise, they don't have any time to try and win the round. 3 versus 4. Somehow Complexity turning this in their favor. I can't believe it. They really look like they were locked out of this round. And you can tell already, Na'Vi, they're starting to fall back. They're saying, we're not going to try and go for this. We're giving up the round in favor of keeping the guns alive. So, what a turnaround. From losing Elige, it's a 4-on-5. That Molotov in connect down towards Dark, that was everything. That could have been the round right then and there.
Well, there we have it. Couple of rounds of Complexity. One stolen away with those Tech-9s and P250s. And now, a nice assertive gun round here, Anders. Just when it looked like they were locked out of the bomb side, the Incendiary deployed towards Dark. Holzerg knew they couldn't just wait 7 seconds and then go through with nothing. He had to try and make that pick work. Delivers the shot this time. And then the B bomb side defense collapses. All courtesy of this moment.
Yeah.
Imma leaves 1 player remaining, and you can see the rotations coming through. Floppy, as we said, the anchor towards the A side of the map on the T side. Waiting for that reaction to come through. He was half health. He couldn't probe himself, but waiting for the CTs to rotate in towards his crosshair. There will be a couple of weapons saved, though. Wonderful. The AWP currently at 8-3. Well, we're taking his sniper towards A main. Good flashbang at the start. Doesn't dissuade him from his efforts, though. A key round here. Don't discount NAVI in this sort of scenario. Players like Wonderful can win these rounds single-handedly. And you've got JL on the AK-47 as well, and he's been winning majority of his battles in towards middle.
Yeah, he's been playing well. Wonderful missed a couple of shots on overpass that were unexpected from him, but I mean, so far on this map, 8-3 on him right now. I'm a bit worried. I feel like ever since Simple departed the scene, it feels like Bits never really looked himself again. Like, I don't know what's...
That's fair.
I mean, it is obviously a huge teammate to lose, but it just something with his roles or the way that his confidence in the game, but it doesn't seem quite the same. Nice shot from Holzerk. Actually beats Wonderful to the punch, and Bit will get taken down. They didn't have much to fight with in this round, so not really his fault necessarily, but a 3 versus 5 and a bomb plant to follow at the A-bomb site.
Yeah.
Great.
Not really much to say about that one, Anders. It was the 2 saved weapons. They managed to leave with an AK-47 at the very least, but will not be recovering that AWP that was taken out of the hands of Wonderful there, and the hunt is on. They want to make sure, at the very least, they patrol the AWP and make sure it can't be given into enemy hands here. You won't be taking a double AWP setup on the T side, obviously, but just making sure it can't be recovered is imperative here.
Yeah, they're sticking around. Absolutely are. JT, just making sure there are no ninja diffusers happening. Either they are rare, but, you know, every once in a while it can happen. Here's the pitch to try and see if they can recover one more weapon. Might not be the AWP, but I think Image should be able to run in there.
There's a chance. What is he, at least an AK maybe?
Yeah, hopefully.
Time will tell. We'll have a look at Imma in the next round there. There was definitely an AK. I think the AWP was probably thrown away. I don't think they just leave it out in the open. The bomb blast would have made it difficult to recover as well. But here we are. Complexity starting to look like their usual selves after a very, very difficult overpass. Not only to watch, I'm sure to play as well, as they had multiple map points and 5-on-3s to close it out in their favor. They fumbled those rounds and then went on to lose in overtime. But now we have 3 rounds in a row for Complexity on the T side. This is more like it.
Yeah, and they did recover the other race.
It's the AK, not the AWP. Okay, good to know. All right, JT. He's made a quick call out of spawn here, Anders.
I love it. He's actually beaten them to it. You can tell, Bit, when he peeks it, he's not ready. He might mentally be thinking about it, but you can tell definitely not on point. JT, what a headshot to bring down JL. I can't believe it. That was crisp and clean. Floppy's going to be taking care of Wonderful. It is still a 2-on-3, but this is going to be a very swift bomb plant. And JT, he just absolutely strong-armed his way into the bomb site.
That's what we're saying with this guy. Just when you think Complexity are down and out, like he always seems to find this sort of form. He was influential in finding that Tech 9 round as well. He was the one that slipped the net, got himself through a double kill, recovers that M4, and he does it once again on a very important gun round here as well. It's going to be 6-4, at least 50% of the rounds in the half collected by Complexity here. So it's up to Alexi B and Imma to save the rifles once more. Lost bonus will be getting there now, maximum, I think, after this round. So they'll get $3,400 per player. With 2 weapons saved, and Lexi B can drop one, you might be tempted into a force buy here. Might being the operative word. I think it's a tactical timeout regardless, as they need to patch the holes here. JT helping himself to 2 beautiful kills at the start. Both headshots as well, Anders. He gets in front of the smoke. They have no idea he's on the other side. Great entry. Second one was even better. And bomb down, job done. JT reigns supreme.
I think this first one really exemplifying what a difference timing makes. Like, just being 2 seconds further up than the opponent thinks is enough. Plenty enough to catch somebody off guard. 6-4. Now, in truth, 4 rounds for NAVI is still pretty decent, so they should be feeling okay mentally on this front, but Complexity really coming alive.
Just to note, they didn't go for the force buy.
Yes.
Partial around this, both options certainly viable. This one probably the more preferred. Lucky to be alive is that Desert Eagle at the back of the bomb site. And it looks like commitment from the T side here might be coming in sooner rather than later. Imma thought he could find a gap there, but Horzerk 1 step ahead of him.
I think Imma wanted the spray through as well. I think they both had the same idea, just the AWP is a little bit more stopping power in that sense. And you know what? Fair play to Complexity. Waiting it out. Why would you want to push with the smoke? Then you know that they're not going to have that much to work with on the CT side anyway, so just keep it cool. And the bomb still not really committed to this one. A minute on the clock. You don't have to run through any Molotovs or anything. They have one more grenade left on Alexi.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Looking comfortable for Complexity here. But JL has to be dealt with. Significant damage inflicted. I think that's enough. They now know where he is. He won't be able to get a surprise couple of kills, but Alexi B swinging out from Temple, trying to inflict as much damage as possible, but the round is already secure. We'll be 7-4 here. Complexity, no problem. Closing out number 11. And JL is giving his position up as well. They're not going to let him save that AK-47. No way, Jose. As there it is. They're officially on fire. Complexity, 5 rounds in a row. Great stuff here, and bouncing back from their nightmarish finish on Overpass.
Yeah, a really, really good bounce back. Again, we're talking about sort of the potential to tilt when you lose that many 3-on-5s like they did at some point on Overpass there towards the end. But they look pretty structured at the moment. Look like they've recovered nicely. 7-4 the scoreline now, heading into the last round of the half, round number 12 here. JT ahead of the pack with 11 kills. Also a quick jump down the smoke. Surely he wouldn't be crazy enough. Yeah, I was going to say, maybe it's fine to take the no-scope shot through, but you wouldn't be running through that one. That's too much. I still like it. I like the attempt. Nobody really taking any big risks in this round for Navi either to try and manufacture something. Been a couple of rounds where JL's been winning this fight in the middle, but usually it's when they come to him and not the other way around.
Well, it's 5 rounds in a row for Complexity. Can they close things out with 6 in a row and an 8-4 scoreline? The B split is being set up. Same flashbang, same utility to push. Wonderful back from the angle. JT, another stunning headshot, Anders. How does he keep getting away with it?
I have absolutely no idea, but the jail with a little bit of trickier on his own. He could do some magic too from back there. A lot of pressure is put on once again, and it's JT one more time, Henry. He's taking down Ibba now. He's relentlessly pushing his way onto the map. 3 versus 4 and a bomb plant. My God.
It's looking very good. I can't imagine a world where Navi are able to successfully retake this one. Alexi B, he has a defuse kit. 4 versus 3, they have incendiaries, flashes, but JL taking a ton of damage here as he enters the bomb site here. The bomb, speaking of which, is ticking at some pace as well. Grim with a freebie, make it a double. Alexi B on the flank, and Grim's got his number. He doesn't want to take the peak. He wants to make sure he guarantees this round, and it looks like he's done absolutely enough here. It's going to be 8-4 in favor of Complexity. A great showing as they bounce back in the second map of this best of 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying the show. You join us for day one, Anders, of Spring Groups 2024, live and direct from Copenhagen. The cobbled streets of London beckon as we try and find players who will be making their way towards the World Finals happening in June. Right now, you're watching the second map between Complexity and indeed NAVI. Complexity put their best foot forward in that first half, though, and posts an 8-4 scoreline. It was looking grim at one point, but still, they stepped up and now looking to take us to a third, which would be Nuke. You see the odds there provided by GG Bets. It's still NAVI as a favorite. That would be for a series victory, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it usually is, and I don't know if that's too unreasonable. I mean, 4 rounds on the CT side, still not a bad T side, though. They don't have a lot of time to catch up. They need a strong beginning, preferably a pistol round win here for NAVI. Otherwise, it could be a little bit tricky. JT leading from the front. That's always really cool to see. 13 kills in the first half for him.
Well. Aggression for the CTs here. Him up. There to put up a blockade. Make sure they can't get valuable information.
He doesn't know how many. If he had known that there were 3 people there, they would have executed into the A-bomb side immediately, right? But he didn't see that many. He has no real clue, I think. Still, they're trying to sneak through. Floppy on the other side in a good position. Up close, though. I can't believe it. Bits. I was criticizing him earlier, but that's a really important shot, and he's going to get one on JT as well. A double for him to open with.
Still on the knife's edge here. That's a great kill. Nice awareness from Emma. Waiting for the reaction coming out of Darkroom there. Gets himself a freebie. Jumps down and upgrades to the dual elites here as well. We said they needed the pistol, and they're in good stead to do so. Through the Darkroom, they swarm, trying to capitalize on the man advantage they have. The USP of Grim. He's been fantastic in this series. As an individual, he's looked great. Bomb planted, though, they might be out of luck this time.
Absolutely no reason why anyone on the T side should face the USP at this range. There's nothing really to gain. Just wait until they get closer. Also, no defuse kit in play. Bit keeps it going. That's 3 kills in the round for Bit. That doubles his score from the first half, right? He had 3 kills, I think, in total in the first half, and now he's up to 6.
Yeah, good point. Certainly was quiet, but a resounding success here in the second half. Pistol, brutal headshots delivered in towards A. They funnel back in towards the B bomb site, and then had such a man advantage. There was no chance of a retake there. A nice shot from Elige, but that's all they found as they made their way back in towards the B bomb site. Emma watching the extremities as well, and a clean finish for NAVI. Yeah, they can feel this one slipping out of their grasp, so that's a much-needed pistol victory. No force buy. You wouldn't expect one here with such a nice lead on the CT side. You don't need the force here. You can buy up in the third. Should be a convincing finish here for NAVI. Maybe a couple of frags at the top end. As we see some more novel ideas potentially being presented here, Anders. 3 players in towards the heaven position of A.
Yeah, looked like they wanted to go for a boost. I was getting excited, you know. Maybe see something brand new, but they've kind of let go of that idea for the minutes. The stack will have to do. Now I'll be doing everything that you want to see here. Using the Mac 10, JL probably somewhere as well. Yeah, he's in dark, hanging around with the MP7. So just use the SMGs, push out the map, and they're going to find an empty bomb site over the B side. Obelisk definitely going to get blown up on this one. And that will make it an 8-6 scoreline. So, yeah, NAVI, this is the kind of start that you want to see for them to have a bit of a comeback. This map is definitely not over yet.
Oh, certainly not. Can they keep this one clean, though? No real reason to hunt, but the SMGs can farm some cash. Oh, it's getting a bit messy out there. So the SMG is short. Okay, that's kind of sick, actually, from JL.
Yeah. Pretty clean.
Gets himself $2,400 for his troubles there. And now, Floppy. So like we said, top end of this one was probably a couple of kills. They've at least managed to do that. He saves the Galil as well. That actually is pretty significant, but let's see if he can hold on to it. Apparently not. Bits. Not sure if he survived the blast. I think he was okay, but either way, they will have everything they need going forward. The same story, though, for Complexity. Took the full eco there. Looking to bring out those rifles nice and early in round number 3. An important round here. It was looking a little bit messy, but then JL with this beautiful sequence. 4 kills with that MP7. Steals one away on the form of lead just to close it out there. And as mentioned, here come the rifles. No orb for Hulzak. 8-6. A very important round here. Helmets have been sacrificed, Anders. And that means the Galils in the hands of Alexibi and Imma become all that much more potent.
Yeah, that's always worth keeping in mind. It really, really can impact the game quite a bit. Limited grenades on some of those players as well on the complexity side. This early round absolutely could dictate, could be a vector for how this game is going to be going now, because it's really close to being tied. NAVI don't need that much at the start of it here. JL sneaking through the smoke. I don't know if JT's realized his gun barrel was showing, and he walks right into the shot there. JL coming out on top of that one.
Oh, he's done so well to actually bait out that smoke as well, just making things even weaker on the B side of the map. You've got a frag, you've applied a little bit more pressure with those speculative shots, baited out the smoke. The CTs now need to react. They need to push elsewhere on the map. They cannot be the sitting ducks in this B bomb site. What's the reaction play? Lige is starting to maneuver in towards middle, hunting for a bit of information. This next frag is massive, and it will be a double kill from Complexity, but not out of the woods just yet. Here's Imma. He'll get one frag and maintain the advantage here. All of a sudden, it's a 3 versus 2 in favor of the North Americans. Floppy is alone in the A side. They know it. Molotov down, and they're going to challenge him. Now, does he want to fight? He doesn't have to, but he's in a position to get a couple of kills, Anders. He absolutely fluffs his lines, though. The fact he doesn't get one or really inflict any sort of damage is a nightmare for Complexity. He just had to stay alive there. At the very least, get one single kill. We enter a 2-on-2 scenario now. Great kill from Lige. Down to wonderful in the clutch.
Yeah, I think Alexi was baited up by the fact that he saw the shadow, but just couldn't quite find the shot.
No kit.
Slightly elevated, you're right, no kit either, so 10 seconds around the cake here. Wonderful. Just has to stay alive. Just bait him out slowly. There's the shot. Oh, and Lige, it's a painful loss in that 1 versus 1, but truth be told, I mean, it's a shocking that Complexity fought their way back into that round to begin with.
Yeah, they can't be too mad at that one. They felt like the round was already over for them, but they managed to make it work, trading out kills effectively, especially in towards dark. That's where Grim and Horza did some serious damage here, but ultimately they got the information. 2 players are towards A, and Floppy, he had to find one. A compromised position, but still had more than enough time to get at least one frag there, and it's by his standards. You'd expect a kind of snappy headshot at that point. It doesn't get delivered, and it's another eco, and to see Lige operating with a Nova shotgun. First Nova of the tournament.
Let's go, Henry. The year of the shotgun. You know,
it might be.
We're bringing it back. It's been out of the game for too long. It sends a message, you know. It makes people happy. I'm not going to argue it's the best weapon.
No, it'd be a difficult argument to make.
It brings a smile to your face, you know. And
oh, that one doesn't, though. I get it. You're trying to get positional control, but if anything, you've offered up a trade, and now the AK-47, they cannot be recovered. So, next move required here. So Lexi B trying to govern control in towards middle. Bear in mind that Nova shotgun, though. In a prime position, but unable to land any of the shots. Desert Eagle rattles off from Floppy. Once again, segregated in towards A. They know where he is! A chance of the double kill. Not a bad effort, but there it is. NAVI convert the 3-0 start here. As the lead starts to diminish on the Complexity side. Bear in mind, we mentioned it a few times, it's a very T-sided map traditionally. Doesn't mean this is a open shut case for NAVI whatsoever. This makes things all that much more difficult for Complexity. As they were before by now.
They still have the mental baggage of having lost that first map in overtime, right? So now that we're tied up here, like all the bad memories start to come back, you start to think, oh my God, like what's happening?
Yeah, blink and you miss it there. The 8-4 lead and just a few rounds and it's 8-8. We really haven't got going in the second half just yet. That's the kind of CS2 in a nutshell for you. Nothing is secure, nothing is for free. JT, though, he's been great. A rock on this outing of Anubis. Another opening frag for him. This time takes down JL.
And that was, instead of the HE from the A-bomb site, it was a Molotov on top. That forces the Ts to run around, and so the CT, JT just crouches in, sprays right through the smoke, and gets the kill. Good little combination there. Bits.
Damn. Floppy's having a rough time at A, Anders.
Yes, he is. Well, he was amazing on the first map, right? Anchoring the B-bomb site, he was playing so well, but...
That's round, surely.
Yeah, this might just be it. Holzerk. He is good with the ult, but they were at every corner. You could see he's got no real estate to stand on. It's Bit with one more headshot. He's really come alive.
Yeah, really punishing smoke towards camera as well. They were even considering the chance of retaking this one. This smoke decides it for them, I would say. Floppy call his pants down once again in towards A main. Hulzok was there, to be fair. He gets one, but as you mentioned, it's on an absolute island, surrounded from every possible corner. And they'll have to save their weapons as Na'Vi recover the deficit. Bear in mind, 8-4.5, and now 9-8 in their favor. 3 players surviving. Loss bonus is a maximum now for complexity with 2 weapons surviving this one. They can buy in the next round. Whether they want to go for a full buy is yet to be seen, but it's certainly tactical timeout territory. Na'Vi on their map pick. Recovering the difficult start. Looking for the 2-0 here in Group C. Blast Premier Spring Groups 2024. Good to be back, Anders. It's only been a month since our last outing in Abu Dhabi, but it felt like a long month, you know.
Well, I think it's because there's so much stuff that's happened in general, right? Like so many of these teams still huge unknown quantities. And also now, you know, you got the looming major on the horizon, like where we're building into all of it. Like
Katowice next week.
Yeah.
Right? So much going on. We've got like 3 months solid right now of Counter-Strike, like top tier events. Yeah, this is going to be a great season. So many storylines, so many new rosters. And bear in mind as well, like a new look for the groups here at Blast Premier. We've got 16 teams now instead of 12. A new format.
It's huge.
Absolutely. From a spectator point of view, every game has significant weight attached to it. So does this round and bit. And as you said, he was quiet, but now he is loud and proud. Floppy will bring one back.
That is sick. Now, Floppy, very, very important kill to hold on to the bomb side. Otherwise, they probably lose the round almost instantly. You can see Jail is gunning for him. He's hunting for Floppy back here. They can sense a bit of weakness, although some backup is being called for. Imma checking out the bomb side. He might have been able to get that kill on JT. I'm surprised he doesn't.
It's a really rough spray by Imma's standards there. He held on to it a little tighter. Would have been absolutely fine, but there's wonderful. My God, living up to his name. A couple of frags in towards A. Job's not done yet. We have got a CT sneaking through, and what a player it is. Grim, if he gets a double kill, maybe there's something for JT to do, but he's down to 7 points of health. Double digits looms as he's got the M4, sure, and a diffuse kit, but there's nothing to work with in terms of health. I don't think you can even consider going for this one. You have to save. Hoping for a mistake, hoping for a curious T to make their way towards camera, but it's not going to happen.
Great fundamentals on Navi as well. When they actually go to fight Grim, they're all peeking at the same time. Right, 1, 2, 3. Let's all go. It's a triple swing. I don't think Grim could have done. Like you said, maybe he gets a double kill, but it's so hard to do. Wow, Navi up to 10 now, and it's at the hands of Wonderful. 3 kills on him. The 2 big ones with the 2 AK kills at the start of the round there. That is going to be painful. Complexity left in the dirt for quite a while now, from an 8-4 lead now being down 8-10. That's pretty devastating.
Great stuff from Wonderful. Not just a one-trick pony, the AWP. That's excellent work with the rifle. Grim, chance of that double kill. His teammate on 7 points of health, though he needed it for them to stand a chance there in the clutch. But this is starting to unravel at the seams here. This is Group C. We already had the opening game for this group. It was G2 versus NIP. Bit of a stomping as well. G2 looked incredible. They're in the upper bracket. And if this continues, it'll be Navi meeting them there. And Complexity down to the lower bracket to play against NIP. That's if it continues in this sort of trend. Now, bear in mind with the new format, as mentioned, there's no last chance. There's no last chance. You go down to the lower bracket, you lose that game. That's it. It's done.
Yeah, nobody wants that. For Navi, I mean, it was such a slow start to the day. They fumbled their way in many ways through Overpass right up until the end. But then they really came alive, and you can tell it's kind of carrying on over into this match.
So they've got 3 rifles, 2 players with pistols. Like, it's enough to win a round. But can they make it work? First shots fired off. JL spamming the smoke. All the advantages you could ask for on the T side here. Getting closer and closer to victory, hunting for that 2-0. Complexity gave it up on their map pick. They had a 12-9 lead, Anders, that was unfortunately squandered. JL, I don't know if I love the approach, but he makes it work. Here's the maneuver in towards the dark room here. He gets dinked in the process. He knows bullets will be coming his way as he scrambles into the corner. Finds the all-in pick on JT, and they've got the man advantage.
He's been so aggressive at fighting.
Yeah, really.
Like round after round.
Those rounds where he's got no one to trade him, that's kind of why I'm saying this is questionable. If you give up an AK-47 to that pistol player and it's a 5-on-4, you've essentially boosted their chances of winning the round, but he gets the kill and gets out. Perfectly done.
Could also see that he's playing the mirror of what he did last time. Last time when that smoke faded, he'd walk through it. This time he's waiting on the other side, right? And they actually go to check him, and he's not there. Bit with another double opening, and that's pretty much the round here. 2 versus 5 instead, and they're just getting completely wrecked. Elige, the last one left alive. Seconds away from death. Imma, do you want to make the heroic jump down? Yes, he does. Hunted Elige. This is so good for Navi. They're on fire now.
Certainly. More ways than one. Blades just wants to see the job done. It's been an up and down roller coaster ride here. Felt like they were done for an overpass multiple times. Managed to get it over the line in overtime. And bear in mind, they were 8-4 down unders. And now it's 11-8 in their favor.
Yeah.
I think that says it all. Yeah, use that timeout complexity.
And part of the issue here, right? On overpass, we were crediting, and for good reason, Elige with how aggressive he was being on the CT side and pushing forward. That's a lot harder to do on this map. Now, a couple of teams have figured out how to do it. We talked about, going outside of the B bomb site. And there are, I think, very few teams have figured out how to do it at A, but there are teams that will triple push the A bomb site early on and try and take control outside of it. So it can be done, but I feel like right now Complexity are left really passive, right? They're holding angles. They're just hoping to win those early fights. And when JL shows up in dark and takes one of them down, I mean, they keep starting these rounds and, being a man down is not great.
It's not great at all. Tactical timeout. Complexity with their backs to the wall now. Map down. Huge deficit here in the second map. Yet to post a round in the second half. All for Hulzak. Grim with 15 kills. JT with 15. Players are turning up. And wonderful. What the hell is this, Anders? Runs straight into dark.
It's kind of sick because it's been JL playing there alone so much. So if somebody comes to challenge now, expecting JL, instead, wonderful AWP. And Imma on the other side. They've opened up the bomb side. It's wonderful. One more great shot. He takes down Elige. And it's over.
Yeah.
It's a minute and 20 seconds. It's done with.
Before it even began. So they're changing their approach. Instead of smoking dark this time, this is a set piece off the bat and spawn. Like we said before, that haymaker, knockout punch. They use the timeout against Complexity there. They know they're probably changing their stance, arranging their setups, and they just completely throw the book at them. Fast-paced, AWP, gunning in towards the dark room. Wonderful gets himself a couple of kills, bomb down. Job done. And that's going to be map point. Complexity still yet to post a single round on the second half. I should say series points as well.
Yes.
As Navi look for the 2-0. It's looking very comfortable right now. Oh, if Hulzak goes down, yeah, okay. They might be done for here.
Oh, it's devastating. Absolutely devastating.
Yeah, that's rough. That's beyond rough.
And again, we have to reiterate the manner in which they lost the first map. That's the kind of stuff that really sticks with you, right? Like
haunting.
Yeah, it is haunting. It really is. Oh, no.
Look at this from Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, that says it all.
I really think he's expecting for JL's AK to be down
exactly
there.
Right.
Like, that's it. Like, I'm facing JL. And that's a fight that he's had many times, Grim. So he's, probably happy to try and do that again, but...
All right, JL. Oh no, floppy, not again. I won't say it once more, but that's happened a few times. But it's another 5-on-4. Could be the death sentence here for Complexity. They might be going down to the lower bracket with NIP here in Group C. This maneuver from JT takes a brave swing towards entrance of the A bomb site. Oh, the grenade though couldn't be more powerful if they tried. 50 damage inflicted. Huge flashbang, even better follow-up spray from Alexi B. 3 kills away now from guaranteeing the series, locking themselves in the upper bracket against G2. What a matchup that will be. Molotov deployed. Oh no, They don't even get to see anyone, Anders. And bear in mind, JC got naded at the start as well. Even if he gets one, it won't be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, what a performance that is from Navi. It was a rough first half. They go down 8-4, but they don't give up a single round in the second half there. A clean sweep as they find the 2-0. Once again, Navi start to dominate on the server. They kick off 2024 in true style here. It's Complexity that needs to go back to the drawing board.
Smooth, flawless, in control. Choose whatever word you see fit. This Navi had absolute control over the second half of Anubis. A masterclass from Alexibi, as we like to coin the term.
Всем спасибо за просмотр, подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте ваши лайки, поддержите стрим. Следующая игра Vitality против
I thought Complexity
OG.
had bounced back for a rough loss on overpass, but in that second half, Navi showed us, showed themselves, showed Complexity that tonight they were by far the better team. As you said, beautiful calling coming in from Alexibi and beautiful execution from all the Navi players.
I mean, they had such control and dominance over the key parts of the map. The maps were the part rather where there would be a couple of duels. How many times did we see JL find opening kills?
Yes.
He was 9-2 in opening kills in that cave position, time and time again, beating the timing of the smoke, getting the opening kill. On the A side, we talked about Floppy needing to be aggressive. Complexity tried to set the defense aggressively. They tried to send him to find opening kills, and he fell short time and time again, trying to make the difference. Navi was so ready for these moves, always putting themselves ahead of the opponent.
It was the very last thing I said coming into the game, that on Anubis, you gotta be proactive, you gotta go out there and you gotta take charge of the map. However, if you do it single-handedly like we saw Floppy do time and time again, it's very, very difficult. There's many ways Navi were able to punish Complexity. It wasn't like Complexity weren't trying, as you said. They were trying to be aggressive, but it felt like it was disjointed and it was just one player at a time trying by himself to do it. Sure, sometimes he was set up with a flash. Sure, sometimes there was a player close to him that could have gone for the refrag, but more often than not, Navi got a free B, got a free way into the round, and then they were very, very good at controlling the pace and controlling the round and doing exactly what Complexity couldn't do on Overpatch, which is converting the 5v3s and 5v4s.
Yeah, I'm glad that you put some nuance to it, because I did think that Complexity tried to put together a little bit of teamwork in these moves, a couple of flashes here and there, but Navi seemed to be completely ahead of not only the move, but what was going to be the response coming out of Complexity. And this is why you look at the scoreboard right here. Overall, aggregate, Wonderful is relatively calm, but this second map was stellar from Wonderful. And there were so many iterations, so many times where halfway through the round, you had these skirmishes happening in mid-round, and he had the AWP, and it felt like he was always zoned in. He knew how to position himself, how to follow his entry fragger, to be in that trading position. We saw him time and time again, 18-7. I can't make this up. This was very strong from Wonderful.
Yeah, and sometimes it goes a bit underrated when you see a player only dying 7 times, but if you're the AWP player on a map like Anubis, and you stay alive for that many rounds, even if you're losing rounds, you keep the AWP in play. You give yourself more opportunities to find impact, you give yourself more opportunities to help your team, and that's exactly what Wonderful did. He knew exactly when to go for it and when to hone back and be a little bit more defensive and maybe save the AWP or not going for the clutch or play a bit more passive. So I agree with you. Scoreboard-wise, ADR-wise, not the best performance we've seen from Wonderful, but in terms of how he approached the game, clinical.
Overall, as a team, of course, Navi with the tremendous start here in Copenhagen. And we have one of the victors, JL, in fact, talking to James.
Navi start off a strong victory here, but, well, it was close once again. And there's one thing I need to talk to you about, JL. You're down 5-0, and then Blade gives you new papers, like, midway through the match. What was it?
The printer was jammed, so we didn't have our game plan. We had no tactics, no strats, so we had to go off...
Memory?
Yeah, off of memory, but... Yeah, and when we got the papers, we started winning.
It was very much like that happened, but your memory not remembering what you should have done, is that really good enough an excuse?
No, of course, we knew what we were doing, but we were just failing some parts.
Okay. So the magic papers do certainly work, but this was what's showing me with this Navi right now. We saw it in the games against VP as well. We're seeing close games, we're seeing overtime games, but you're pulling it through and the mood still seems good. Explain to me how it feels inside.
It feels really nice to play right now. No matter the score we're down, no matter the opponent we're playing, it's always 100%. You give it your 100%, and you know that you've done your best to win, even though you might have failed at some point, but you still are trying the next round and the next couple of rounds, and this is how we get our games won.
And these games definitely do seem to be going your way at the moment, but okay, looking at where you're at as a team right now, do you feel like a team that should be grabbing that spring final spot?
I think so, yes, for sure. I mean, we have G2 or NIP next. We have G2 probably because we won. And I mean, we do have a really very clean record against G2. Not to stir anything up, but still unbeaten with the Navi roster, and we'll see how it goes next. I saw Manus had a lovely game.
Yes, he did. He did play very well, but we'll have to see how it goes when he goes next time. Thank you very much, Joe.
You shall never forget your strategies. Very important point, and we have to give thumbs up to Blade, of course, giving away the magic papers, as James was referring to. God knows what he means by that. Anyway, moving on swiftly, a couple of words from JL as well. Best way to start a campaign here in Copenhagen?
I would say so. Individually, he played a great game as well on Anubis, as you said, found a lot of impact, had a great showing, so did Navi. And again, I think it's the same theme, and it's getting a bit boring in a way, but they're trending upwards. Every time I see them, I'm left with a not necessarily only positive feeling, you know, because they have been losing games, then there has been a couple of red flags, but overall, when I look at the trajectory, it's still trending upwards, and for Navi, that's good.
Always trending upwards. That's what they told me when they told me to buy crypto. They lied to me. Anyway, moving on to the bracket, we've had a couple of games already played on here in the Group C, and we are lined up with G2 versus Navi as an upper bracket final, of course, and not the lower bracket. Survival is going to be the term between NIP and Complexity. Do you have any favorite down there? You think Complexity is going to make easy task of NIP?
I mean, we did see them play somewhat decent at times against Navi today, whereas for NIP, that was the most lackluster performance I've seen in a while. So yeah, I hope NIP is going to show up better, and I think it's going to be a close game between the two.
Hopefully a good game of Counter-Strike. As I look at my watch, that is enough airtime for me. It's in my contract. I cannot work more than 6 hours. Just kidding. We have Tegard and Bubsky. I see them from here. They're getting ready to welcome you guys. After a short break, it's time for game 3 and 4 right after this.